my goodness, have you guys been asking for a review of the product that we're looking at today? Maybe more than any other product on this channel, it is the DJI wireless mic system. Today we're gonna touch on three things. One, what is the DJI wireless mic system? Two, why is everyone talking about this thing? And three, should you buy it? Because that's an important question. And if you've been looking at this thing, today's video is going to help you make that choice. Should you spend $329 of your own money on this setup? So first off, let's just jump into what is the DJI wireless mic system. It is this guy. The entire thing fits in this case. And when you open the lid there, it is a 2 transmitter system, 1 receiver. So that means that you can take your camera like this, take the receiver, let's pop it on top in the hot shoe, grab the 3.5mm mic jack cable, plug it into the receiver, then plug it into the side of my camera, and boom, I now have 2 wireless microphones that are wirelessly beaming to this receiver. So my camera is recording left channel, right channel, wirelessly. So now while recording to this camera, no matter where I go or where I stand, I have a wireless lav mic that is directly recording into that camera. And again, there's 2 of them. So if you had 2 people, one is on one person and the other is on the other person, and it is gonna record into my camera left and right channel. And while both of these transmitters do have a little microphone built in right there, they also have a little spot where I can plug in a lav mic, which means that I can either just take one of these transmitters and I can just clip it on my shirt like this and just use it as a lav, or I can plug in a lav, hide this kind of on a more of a hip pack setup, run a lav up my shirt and maybe hide it a little better, you know, so you don't have a big thing dangling off your shirt. Also nice for that built-in microphone, there is little windscreens. Well, come back here. And the windscreen just has like a little locking mechanism. You put it on there and you twist it once, and now boom, you have a little furry microphone for wind. Of course though, that does mean that when it is clipped on your shirt, there's a furry wind muff kind of sticking out. But if you're in a windy situation, better to have this on there and get good audio than to get poor audio and having not had that on there. Right away, let's do a range test on the transmitter to receiver connection. DJI says you can get 250 meters. That's like 800 and something feet. I don't really know how to measure that far. I'm gonna just walk for a while and we're gonna see when this microphone cuts out. Wait, I should count the steps. Hold on. I figured out for a video I shot a long time ago that about 4 of my strides is about 10 feet. So I'm gonna use that to figure this out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15. And how can you hear me at 40 feet? Pretty good, I bet. 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, 25 big steps. That should be about 100 feet. How can you hear me at 100 feet? How many steps do I need to take to get to 800 feet? 250 meters, right? Of my 10 step, or wait, no. Math is hard. I'm just gonna go. Let's just see how far I go. I should walk backwards so that I'm not blocking the microphone. Look how far away I am. Let's keep going further. How about down here? Can you see me down here? I'm down here in the grass. I'm waving my hand if you can't see me. This is about as far as I even care to test this, because if it can go this far, again, I don't see why anyone would want the transmitter this far away from the receiver. That would be silly. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what if the signal does cut out? Do I just lose that audio? And the answer to that is no. As long as you hit the record button on the transmitter, no matter how far you are away from the receiver, you are recording internally to the transmitter. See, there's just a little record button on the side there, you pop that, and then once that red light turns on, you know that you are recording internally to the transmitter. And each transmitter has up to 14 hours of built-in storage, so you can record for a long time with these things just on the internal memory. There is no SD card slot to expand that. But 14 hours, that's a lot. And what's even better about this whole system is you don't have to be tied to the receiver to be recording. So I could just take one of these out of the case like this, and just with this one piece, I could just turn this into a wireless handheld recorder, which is actually how I use this mostly. What I normally do is keep my normal microphone on top of my camera. I don't even pull the receiver out of the case. I pull this little bad boy out, I hit record, I throw it on my shirt, then I have a lav mic setup that I'm recording to, and I still have all the room noise or background audio noise being picked up by my microphone, that if in post I wanted to blend some of that in, I have that option. Because sometimes lav mics almost are too isolating. Like even in here, you should hear some roominess to this room, but with the lav mic so close to my mouth, you're really gonna get a very, very clean pickup of my audio, which again, is good that you get a clean pickup, but sometimes you want a bit more of that room noise. Even with this thing, you hear a little bit of room noise and it sounds more natural than just a straight lav where you were just getting my voice and it's just very, very isolated. And then another big benefit is that when I want to get the files off of here, it has a USB-C port on the side there. I just plug it into my computer and it pops up like a thumb drive. There's no apps or software I have to go through to get these audio files. I plug it into my computer and just like a thumb drive, they're all there. And then for these transmitters, they get about 5 hours of record time on them, but when they're running low on battery, I just pop them back in the case and I get 2 more full charges. So just with this little case fully charged up, I get 15 hours of record time. That is dope. Now let's check out the receiver in here. So this is the bit that goes on top of your hot shoe because it has a little clippy bit right there. So this little clip is a clip, but it's also the exact same size as your hot shoe. So when I take my camera, it just kind of slots in right there and boom, I am ready to record. There's a touch screen on the receiver, so I can actually swipe down, I can get to all my settings, I can change almost everything from just the receiver here. I can actually tap into both the channels and I can start and stop internal recording. So when I hit record on this, I'm actually starting the record. So this could be on somebody or I could have it set up somewhere, and just from my receiver, I can start and stop the internal recording. So it's always gonna send signal to the receiver that can be recorded inside the camera, but that internal recording can actually be started and stopped from the receiver. And because they put the screen right here instead of on top, that means that when I mount it in my hot shoe, if I'm behind the camera, I can see my controls, or I can just swap it around in the hot shoe. And when I'm in front of the camera, maybe I'm vlogging and I'm gonna use one of these as my vlog microphone, I could have the lav like this on the camera, and I, in front of the camera, can see my levels. I can see if I'm peaking, I can see if I'm too low, making sure that everything is right on point. And then one more trick with this receiver is that this clip is actually removable. So with this clip just how it is, it slides perfectly into my hot shoe. But what if I want to use this dual channel wireless mic system with my cell phone? Well, this clip is actually removable. It just slides out like this, and check this out. Inside the case here is a lightning and a USB-C bit. Pop this little guy out of there, and now the receiver can plug directly into my iPhone. So whether I wanna film with my iPhone or maybe I wanna get on a FaceTime or I wanna live stream, this thing can plug directly into my iPhone, and then I have a wireless lav mic setup for my iPhone. Now, notably with the iPhone, this doesn't record dual channel. It records together as a merged channel on the iPhone, and on your camera, it records left channel and right channel. But I think that's just how the iPhone mic works, because there's other microphones that plug into the iPhone and they also cannot do left channel, right channel. And then of course, if you don't have an iPhone and you have maybe an Android or an iPad, you have a USB-C bit, and same thing, the USB-C bit just slides in there, and now you can plug the receiver into a USB-C device and you have a dual channel wireless microphone system. I think you're starting to realize why everyone's talking about these mics. And then the last part of this whole system here is this wireless charging case. This might be the reason that this system has gained popularity so quickly. Look at how dang slick that setup is. All inside a case. It gives you 2 charges and just charges up with 1 USB-C port. Simple. I think that's probably like the main attraction point to this system is simple, because even the pairing works with the case. So if for any reason you were to lose one of these and you had to go buy a new one, you get another microphone, you throw it in the case, you close it, you open it, it's now paired to the receiver. So this case is also the pairing system. Pop everything in here, and when you're ready to use it, it's already paired, it's already ready to rock. I think if you were to force me to say a couple of cons on this system, I would say that the microphones built into the transmitters are not as warm as some of the other lavs that I use, but again, that can just be fixed by plugging a lav into it, using the lav, and then you get that warmth back. And a second one I might say is that the clip system that goes into the hot shoe on my camera it is very snug on the hot shoe. It kind of uses like a friction system. But if I'm using a cage system on my camera or some other sort of mount that has something like that, which is just a static cold shoe, well, there's kind of nothing that holds the transmitter in place. Transmitter? Receiver. See, when I put it on here, normally you would have a microphone with a screw down attachment point, and on here it goes in there, but it would just fall right out. So you really don't have a way of getting it to stay. So if you're using a cage or something like that and you have different cold shoe points, this clippy bit doesn't really have a way of attaching to those systems. I do kind of wish that DJI sold or made another clippy piece that could just slide into that channel just like this clippy piece, and on the bottom, instead of just a clip like this, it had some sort of screw down system. Then you could use something like a static cold shoe system. You could put that clip in there and screw it down just like a microphone. But honestly, those are kind of a stretch for either of them to be that big of complaints. And that is why everyone is talking about this wireless system. It is a really, really good system. When it was first launched, there was this huge uproar, everyone went nuts, and they sold out almost immediately. Then because of supply chain issues, they haven't had them in stock for a few months, and now they are back in stock. You can buy these in the US again. So of course, everyone's talking about them again. And on the should you buy it side, should you buy the DJI wireless mic system if you need it? See, with gear in general, I think you should only buy gear when you're kind of bumping up against a wall. You want to create something, you don't have the gear to do it. If you bought that gear, you could create that thing that you want to create. That is when you should buy gear. So if you are looking for a wireless mic system, I would say 100% this is the best system on the market right now. It's super easy to use, it's super easy to pack, it's super easy to charge, it pairs easily. You got two of them, you can use a lot. There's just so many pros, and again, really hard pressed to come up with cons for the system. I wanna know what you guys have to say about the DJI wireless mic though. Have you guys picked one up yet? Of course, you're hearing about it a ton right now. There's videos everywhere. Have you picked one up yet? If so, what is your experience with it so far? And if not, what's the reason you have it? Maybe you have a question about this that I didn't answer in today's video. Leave that down in the comments. I will get that answered for you. But again, if you are looking at wireless mics for $329, I don't think you can beat this system. Look how small it is too. It's so little, it fits in like a tiny little spot in my backpack, and then I have wireless mics, dual channel wireless mics. DJI, they do make some really clever stuff. Hey, if today's video helped you out at all, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe you're the one that gets us a little closer to 300,000 subscribers, which is, thank you guys. You guys rock. I really appreciate you, and I will, I'll see you soon. All right. We're good, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this little thing that we're doing here. Don't look up there though. Look down there. What in the heck are people doing with this much range? Like in what scenario do you want to film someone that's almost 1,000 feet away and you still want to hear what they're saying? That's weird.